All right, so to close this, because we started with the Infinity War. So what did you think about Infinity War? We talked about it briefly.
You guys both saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was my favorite movie in the Avengers canon. Oh no, you didn't like it? I definitely liked it better than the 2012 Avengers, where Ancient Phil died. And I don't even remember if that was the same one as when Iron Patriot's legs got hurt.
Yeah.
But like so far in the Avengers universe, nothing has been at stake. The biggest thing we've lost is Phil,
Agreed.
which was retarded. Excuse my language. And we actually lost something in this movie, so I felt like whoa, like there's something at stake now. However, if they reverse it and I'll give them one person to resurrect in the future. If more than one person is resurrected, I'm walking out of the theater, dude.
At least everyone who died at the end, because it's a lot of people have made the point that subsequent movies for those actors have been confirmed. Like, there's going to be another Spider-Man.
That sort of ruins it for me.
Yeah.
That makes it a cheap death. That makes it so many cheap deaths.
Well, it just feels like it's not like, oh my God, Robin's dead. You know, it's not like one of those where it's like, oh, it's nothing like really heavy.
Right.
It's like these guys that you know are going to come back. It's almost like Days of Future Past, where they brought back all the X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like that's what they do. They bring them back. They know they're bankable characters. You're not going to kill off Spider-Man.
Right.
You're not going to kill off Black Panther. They make too much fucking money and they're too iconic.
Right.
You know?
But Loki and Gamora have to
I
stay.
feel like they have
I
to
hope they
stay
stay
dead.
dead.
I think Loki's going to come back. I think Tom Hiddleston's too popular. I think,
Only Gamora's gonna stay dead.
I think
No,
Gamora will come
Gamora's
back
gonna
too.
come back.
They're all going to come back. Yeah.
No.
There's going to be some like limbo purgatory realm that Thanos sent them to.
Yeah, I mean, if they get Thanos and they have all the Infinity Stones, they can
they can reverse it. Yeah, they can go back in time. They'll be able to control the fabric of time. And I think it's going to come down a lot to Doctor Strange, and like it's going to be, it's going to be reversed.
We don't like. I think Doctor Strange is so silly. There's one scene where he's trying to like look into the future, and his head's all jerky.
He's jittering around. He's looking into the future.
It's so bad.
Does your friend always do that?
Did you see that theory where
Is that the Kevin Bacon you speak of?
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. That was a bad.
Kevin Bacon.
That wasn't funny. But Batista was funny in that movie. Come
Batista
on.
was funny.
Batista was great. I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora? Like, that cracks me up.
Eating his little cheesy puffs or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
Moving so slowly. Yeah, he
I
carried the
do
humor
like the
for me.
Guardians. The Guardians are good.
Yeah,
Guardians are good.
Because they don't take themselves too seriously. You know?
Right, yeah.
Except for Groot. I hate Groot. I really do not like
Yeah,
Groot.
Groot's dumb.
Totally there with you.
Groot
Yeah.
is obnoxious. Everyone's like, it's so funny.
It's like the same people who are into Minions are into Groot.
I'm
you
like,
know?
please go jump off a cliff.
It's like
I'm
it's a silly like
Yeah.
Waba banana like
Yeah.
I'm Groot. Oh, it's funny. It's like sort of like
I am Groot. Watch your fucking language, Groot. You know, it's like, what? I don't know, man. It's just Rocket Raccoon, kind of annoying.
Did you see that that theory that Thanos' name, each letter in his name is stands for one of the things that has an Infinity Stone? So the necklace is N. N is necklace for the Doctor Strange's necklace, and then orb, scepter. I forget what T stands for. Tesseract.
I think
And because it's as many as there are.
his name is a shortened version
Hammer.
of Thanatos, who's the god of death in Greek mythology.
Oh.
I knew it was
Pretty sure
Greek
that's it.
because
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
OS ending.
And
Oh,
he
nerd now,
kills.
you're
Well,
guys.
he kills half the universe's
Oh.
population. Right?
That's
So I
interesting
think-
how they do time.
but-
Greek
Oh, there you go.
mythology.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's interesting.
He's kind of like, I feel like he's like a knockoff of like Galactus.
Yeah,
And a little bit of
it's
dark side.
They're all like that.
Darkseid, yeah.
World
Exactly,
ending
yeah.
enemies.
Yeah.
Darkseid, Doomsday, they're all,
Yeah,
it's all the same
right.
shit. It's like this big, giant guy, who has an uncomfortable head and jaw. And he's like, his wrinkly bald chin.
And he's purple and or gray.
Purple, gray, or, that's it. That's
Yeah.
purple,
Dark
gray.
Doom Galanos
Yeah.
is my
Dark Doom.
merger.
Awful.
He's the best villain, man. No one can beat Dark Doom Galanos.
Yeah. And there's always that reveal at the end of the movie. It's like, we got to sit through this fucking 2 hour and 10-minute movie. And then we got to watch all the, credits, and then here's a hint at what's going to come next, and I don't care. I just don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. I don't like how all the superheroes are building and building and building. There's like, no, there's 5, now there's 10, now there's like 20. I think, and it seems silly that someone could accomplish so much and combat so much in their soul life. Like, Iron Man, is he really doing all this stuff? It just seems like, one person doesn't have the energy to save the world 5 times. It's silly at that point. I feel like the superheroes should be more short-lived, and there should be like a couple at a time, and then they die more frequently, and there's no more than 5.
They want to retire.
Yeah.
When Spidey wants to hang it up.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
That was heavy when Parker would do that. I'd be like,
yeah,
oh, shit,
totally.
Like,
Right.
Spider-Man's hanging it.
I don't believe that you're gung ho to save the universe from CGI aliens every day. Like, there's got to be a point where
like people die.
Yeah.
And it's okay that they do. Like,
And I want to know who was the fuckhead that thought this was a good idea to have all these aliens coming down out of portals every single Avengers movie.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
Like every single
They
one.
always
It's like
attack New York.
Yeah, they always attack New York. Yeah.
Aliens are attacking New York. Yeah.
It's like
He just
never
finished
any.
his sentence on the phone.
It's like you live in that world, just abandon New York. How about everyone relocate to Chicago? Like, but it's one of those where it's like literally they come down there these weird, not very thought out fish-like thing that knock down the fucking Chrysler building, and they come in and they ruin everything, and then the city's rebuilt a week later. It's like, come on, man,
Iron Man, get over here. Fish are knocking down the Chrysler building.
Exactly.
Be right there. He's like fucking 85 years old.
Yeah. It's just like whose brilliant idea was that? Like, well, what bad guy do we need? Throw some aliens and some portals, and these beams of light come down from the sky, and it's something with a cube or a gem or a sphincter, and it's like. It's the same old shit on repeat every time.
The soul sphincter.
Yeah, the soul sphincter. Oh, Thanos, your anus.
No, you're right. It's
okay.
It is the same thing, it's really like. Oh, for me, it's like really overwhelming. It's just like a sensory overload to see these like highly detailed, enormous ships taking up like a third of the screen, and the rest is just things blowing up. But to what you said, Emmett, about how they keep building on top of these superheroes, you're right. If they keep adding more, like, oh, Captain Marvel's going to be in this next one, but none of them stay dead, it's going to be this like crowded mess of like no one is special. Everyone's like clamoring for attention. They're 85 years old, killing the fish in the Chrysler building. It'll just be so goofy. Like the logical end. It's not a sustainable model.
And let's be honest, Nick Fury is gonna send a message to Captain Marvel.
Right.
No. No. What's she gonna do?
Oh man. Yeah.
She's pretty marvelous.
I mean, I'm sure she's gonna be attractive, but come on.
Man. Yeah.
Like, let's do that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Come on, man.
If you guys have ever played the Arkham games, there was one really cool little Easter egg that I liked. There's when you can like listen in on citizens talking in Gotham with your your device or whatever, and there's one little conversation you can stumble on where they hint at Superman, and he's like this new entity.
It's kind of cool.
They're like, they're just like, have you heard about that flying guy in Metropolis? And like, that's it. Like, that's all you hear about him. But that, like, just hearing that alone is exciting.
Yeah.
When there's just like, when there's only like, when it is a genuinely rare like anomaly, it's like, wow, it's fucking cool.
They just suggest it.
Yeah, right. But when there's like 20 guys and you know everything about them, and they're just like all there together, it's like, it's not special anymore. It's not cool. Yeah.
Or like even I know it wasn't that.
It needs to be rare.
Yeah, like it wasn't a good movie by any means, but I thought it had a lot of potential, but they squandered it. But Suicide Squad, where that little appearance from Batman.
Yeah.
That was neat. I was like, oh, cool. It's like, even though the movie wasn't good, that was a neat segment. It's kind of like you got Harley Quinn and the Joker, and Batman's in there for a couple minutes. You're like, oh, neat. Like, that's what everyone wants, you know? And I think that's the closest it came to a cool interaction between the Joker and Batman in that shitty world that they have now. That's probably the best they had, honestly.
Yeah, less is more. Like when you catch just a glimpse of them, it's like daunting. It's like, wow, this is
it's like Batman was just here. Whoa, now he's gone.
Yeah, right.
What's going on with the movie?
It's iconic, and it becomes very powerful.
It was cool, and I think that little segment alone, and maybe one of the few Batman scenes in Batman v Superman were like the only redeeming parts of the Zack Snyder Batman Superman world.
Yeah, those are
those movies are so bad.
Yeah,
they're just so bad.
I never watched those movies.
Yeah, Batman v Superman. I never saw the ending of it. Same with Man of Steel. I walked out when I saw it in theaters. I walked out.
Man of Steel was crap, huh?
Yeah, I can't stand Zack Snyder stuff. He did great with Watchmen. Watchmen was good, but then I think after that, his foray into
did 300, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's I loved it because maybe like looking back on it, it was just like a boyish, masculine thing that I liked.
It's like Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, it's like it was
fun.
my generation's Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah. But we usually end up doing these podcasts and talking a lot of shit. It's what we do. I'm not gonna apologize. That's just how I am. I'm a critic. But I wanted to end on a little lighter note, and some stuff I've been focusing on lately is like motivational stuff. And I wanted to ask you guys, being creative types, being musicians and writers, all of us. Um, I want to talk about motivation, how you stay motivated, especially when the daily grind gets you down. Like I wanted to talk about, Emmett, Max, me, like our tips basically for when you want to produce stuff, whether it be art or music or a script or a book or whatever you're working on, how you kind of power through that daily bullshit, and tips to kind of keep your eye on the prize. Like what do you do personally?
Well, it's actually funny because I haven't been doing that well lately. I feel like I did a pretty good job with this semester in school. I don't mean to like toot my own horn, but
You did a kick-ass job.
Thank you. Yeah, but the whole point is, I don't feel like I did that much. It still feels very obligatory. Like I just came from a day at work or something. It's not like, wow, I'm higher knowledge, blah blah blah. I'm really learning a lot. It just feels like, I'm doing this because I have to, which is kind of, yeah, that's what it is. But in order to do well, you really do have to push all your personal ambitions just completely out. Like I had to just stop thinking about writing books, writing music, whatever. I couldn't even think about it because they're distractions, and they were huge distractions for me in high school. That's why I did so poorly in high school because. I wanted to be writing, I wanted to be doing this, I wanted to be doing that, things that had nothing to do with school in any way, and I did them, and like my grades suffered for them, but I don't regret it because I still think they are of value. But I guess there came a time where I was tired of being like mediocre academically, so I decided like, all right, I just gotta sit down, fuck all the shit that I want to do, and just do this. Which then like I did it, and so like I'm sort of proud of myself in that respect. But it opened my eyes in the fact that it's no more. It brings me no more satisfaction than like beating a level in a video game.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, yay, good grade, I did a good job.
It kind of is like a game.
Yeah, it's fleeting. Like it really, yeah.
I think that's kind of what happens with work. I think with a lot of people, when you look, not to get too gloomy, but some people, it's like out of necessity, you have to work. You gotta make money. You gotta take care of your family. I get it. But I think a lot of times you go to a job and you give it your all, and that sucks the life out of you. So you come home, you're fucking tired. So it's like all that stuff that you want to work on gets put on the back burner, or like you said, you kind of put it out of your mind because it's like, I have to focus on my job right now.
Right.
So all that creative stuff kind of gets put on the back burner and sometimes never comes back.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's kind of the same thing, just on a bigger, longer scale.
Definitely.
So it's kind of, be careful. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, like prioritize for sure.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely stuff you have to do, like education, that's important, stuff like that. But definitely prioritize, because if there is creative stuff you want to do, don't let too much time pass. Don't let the dream die. Because so many people do. That's the thing. So many people. It's not that they don't want to, but it's that just out of the daily grind kind of beats it out of them until too much time has passed. So, just prioritize.
Yeah. So with that being said, in this last month of school, I've been feeling a rising sense of frustration that I have to put this. I have to forget about this stuff. And so I'm definitely like ready to make it happen this summer, because this will be like my one shot where I have like a modicum of free time where I can make it happen. And I really think it comes down to just having faith in whatever it is you're doing and believing that it is important to some degree. And I think in order to do that, you have to be a pretty harsh critic of your own stuff in order to get to the point where you're really like, I don't want to say objectively, but you are nearly sure that this is great to a degree,
Yeah, you have
and
to believe in your shit.
Yeah. And there's tons of music I throw out, tons of like stuff like even full novels that I've like written that I've just thrown out, like this and that. It's not good enough, blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, but so when you mold to the point where you have something that is like, this is it, then it's really believing in it and trying to make it happen really isn't an issue. because if you're so willing to back it and support it, then I think you're just going to do that yourself. But
It's awesome.
it's this way I am. But
It's good.
I don't know.
Thanks.
I don't really have any motivational like tricks or anything. I try to do what you kind of mentioned with like reminding myself that once I come home from work and I am tired and I do just want to like eat like Takis Fuego and just like hang out, play video games with Emmett.
Yeah.
I do try to remind myself that if I keep doing this, like I will just it will never stop. Like nothing will make it stop. Nothing.
As beautiful as it is.
Yeah. It's nice. I like to do. I'm going to do that.
It's a dream.
The rest of
Never
my
wants
life.
to end.
I hope to continue to eat Takis Fuego and play video games forever. But I don't want to necessarily do it only that after work. So I gotta do something.
You've been doing your own Let's Play series pretty frequently. So what like sparked that? What made you want to do it?
I just wanted to create. I guess I wanted to create like just an experience for myself. Like I like the cozy. So I've been doing a short, like just a very like run of the mill indie horror game Let's Play series on my own YouTube channel, Anarcho Sagas. And I just wanted to. I was just like watching. I like horror, and I like horror video games, and I like the sort of feeling of being like safe but afraid at the same time. Because like when you're in a horror movie or playing a horror game, you know that nothing's actually going to like physically hurt you or whatever. Like your rational mind knows that, but at the same time, it is super scary.
Yeah.
So it's this kind of like, like double-edged sword of like coziness. Because you're all in a scared place, but also like fear, and I wanted to just like create that and share that with people.
Yeah.
And so like I've been doing that recently. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't have a very big viewership, but the people who do watch it seem to like it, and it helps me develop. It helps me get quicker and better at editing videos, and it's making me like learn more things. And so I wanted to do that.
It's kind of like
for that
jumping into
reason.
the fire and like making you produce more.
Yeah.
It's great. It's like sharpening you.
Yeah, definitely. That's basically the long and short of it.
So it's almost like presenting a challenge for yourself and kind of forcing myself to
produce
to grow.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is important as well, because I feel like what I said, you could take it the wrong way, because there are people we know, like Paul, our friend, who is almost too much of a perfectionist. Like it's never good enough, and you can always tweak it. You can always blah blah blah. No, like there comes a point where you just gotta like get it out there.
Yeah, you gotta let it happen.
You can't. It can be scary to at first. Just put your stuff up there and have a final product like that. That's a scary thing.
Yeah. Vulnerable.
So you almost gotta like if you feel that you're overly hesitant about that, you just gotta force yourself to do it and just make
power through, put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine. I guess I'm pretty lazy, man. I'm like a really lazy dude. It's like I'll get spikes of energy and I'll do stuff, and then other times it'll be like very easily I could just let stuff sit and never finish it.
Yeah. Oh,
very easily. There's been scripts I've started where I've walked away.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll be kind of ADD, and I'll be like I'll get more excited about something else, and if I get burned out on it, then I'll be like, forget it, and then I'll start on another one.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to do. So I think a big component there, like what I've learned, is sometimes you have to be a little uncomfortable and force yourself to get your ass in that chair. And I think, as far as, writing advice goes, just sit down and start it. Because I find once I start, or if we meet up and we're writing something, it's a collaborative effort, or even if I'm doing something on my own, once I sit down and the distractions are gone and it's just me focusing on what I'm working on, then it flows very easily. I don't have a hard time. I really don't get writer's block in the sense of like, looking at the page in front of me, I don't know what's going to happen. Mine is more getting the motivation to turn on the computer and sit down and dedicate a few hours to it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's more my issue. Once it's in front of me and once the page is there and it's like I'm in that zone, easy. It's like a free flow of ideas. That's no issue. But it's mustering up that motivation, as lazy as it sounds, to literally turn the fucking computer on and go to a quiet place.
That takes a lot of it, because that it's like accepting the fact that you're going to work on something.
Yeah.
That's what the turning the computer on
Totally.
is.
And I think the excitement comes into play there, because if it's something new, that's why I think you should really strike when the iron's hot and not spend hours upon hours pre-planning, unless it's like a novel or something where you have to do research, like something that's historically accurate or something like that. That's different. That's doing research that's going to eventually lead to something. But if it's like a story that you're just coming up with, like put it on paper. Like don't hesitate, because if too much time passes, then you lose enthusiasm for it. And I think you should always have a little spark of of interest in your own stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be boring.
Yeah.
And sometimes it will be boring. There's definitely times where you'll get to that page 70 and you're like, I'm fucking bored. But try to make it interesting and try to focus on completing it, because there's nothing worse than something like that just sitting in a drawer and no one ever looking at it. It's like, it'd be better to have it done, have it be a B+ than have no one ever see it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
exactly.
yeah. So yeah, stay excited about your stuff, and if not, just power through. Put your ass in the chair. Like literally, some of the best advice I heard is like just showing up for stuff, and I think that can be applied to creative stuff. It's like sometimes it's a pain in the ass if we want to film something. In the past, it's been a while since we've done anything like that, but literally, it's like, oh, how are we going to do this? This seems daunting, and then everyone gets together and stuff happens. It's like you just kind of, once you show up, then things kind of happen organically. But it's a matter of getting from point A to point B, whether that's going from your living room to the back room to write, or going to a coffee shop to write, or going to a production to film something. Getting there, man, and then the rest of it happens naturally once you're in that frame of mind and in that space.
Yeah.
But yeah, consistency has always been kind of tough for me. Sticking to schedules has always been tough. I'm just very against that. It's just like it's in my nature to kind of just be a lazy ass.
Yeah.
But I feel like it is good to kind of start testing your boundaries a little bit as a creative person, because you do have to dedicate your time, especially when you're starting out, to a regular job and stuff. So having that extra time to dedicate to creative stuff is kind of a luxury. So it is good to be a little bit more disciplined even when you don't want to be, and start saying, okay, I'm going to do X amount of posts this week on whatever it is, your blog or Instagram or whatever, or this month we're going to make this many videos, this many podcasts over the summer, whatever it may be. I think a little bit of a schedule is good, even though it kind of sucks. Like, the word schedule sucks, calendar sucks.
Yeah.
But it is necessary. And it's one of those, I think the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
It makes things materialize.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So it's kind of one of those, it's kind of like, decide what you want to do and start doing it. And at first, you might be kind of sluggish and it might not feel natural, but over time you'll kind of get into the groove, just like anything.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, awesome, dudes.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys whenever we make another one.
Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later. Stay tuned.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.